Hi boys and girls, we are back with the IROC Revival Part 2. So, now, we're going to drain the rear end fluid out of it. Maybe do the transmission. I'm not 100% sure today. That might be a tomorrow thing. Went to the old O'Reilly's. Paid $25 for RTV. Some RTV and the gasket. I don't know if this is the right rear end gasket for it, but we're going to find out. This should be the right transmission pan for it. I mean, it's for whatever the fuck that is, THM 700. So it should work. So we'll get around to that. I have the RTV just for tacking it up there and having it all good. So yeah, we're gonna be working under there, see what's going on. Not too bad. Oh yeah, I want to show you this brake fluid. This thing's kind of sketch to take off because it sucks itself in there. Yeah, that's some good brake fluid right there. The goodest of the stuff, man. Don't want to get it on the single stage, it'll peel it right off. But yeah. Doesn't even smell like brake fluid anymore. Jeez, that's crazy. Never seen brake fluid this bad in my whole life. So yeah, that's that. That's what we're gonna do when we pop off the wheels. We're gonna drain that from all the way from the passenger rear to the front. We'll get around to that. So, yeah. So, I'll cut back to when I'm underneath the car. Alrighty, I'm back. So, I was looking at this thing. So, I'm guessing you have to pop this off. Well, let me put some light on this. So, I'm guessing you have to pop this off to get this thing emptied. This is a cup. That might be original. And then you got this drain plug, or this fill plug over here, so I'm guessing that's how you fill it. And this is how you drain it. You just pop that whole cover off. Yeah. Also, there's an OEM muffler on it. That's not going to be there for long. Yeah, that gas tank's in a fucking terrible spot. Also, dumb enough, my previous video got copyrighted for stupid shit. So, oh, that's weird. A cobble together exhaust. So, this might not be original, but it's the original OEM replacement. But they didn't cut off the Cadillac converter. That's crazy. I would have cut that fucker off immediately. It's kind of weird. I don't understand what this is about. Why does it got a bar going from the front to the fucking back? To try synchronizing the transmission and the rear end like a what do you call it? A Corvette. Because a Corvette has its engine right, or has the same technology as a Corvette, I guess. Because they tried putting transmission was right here on this fucking thing. After I think the C5 or C4, or not C4, maybe, I don't know. But they put a huge long rod like this. It wasn't called a live axle. It was called a torque tube. That's what it was. And they put almost right on it. So, I don't know. Maybe this is a torque tube. I don't fucking know. But that came right off the engine, but there's still a transmission behind it. So, I don't know. Interesting. So, it's kind of weird technologies from the 80s. But, yeah. Let me drain this humma jumma out and see what happens. So, alrighty, I guess she just left to open by herself. That's actually not bad fluid. Not terrible. I've seen orders come out of my 90 RAM charger, and that says something. It leaks it. I might actually put this shit in the RAM charger because I'm replacing it. Come on, baby. Get that bolt out of there. Alrighty. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. I've seen worse. Yeah, the only two ones that I got left are the top ones. A bunch of crud in there. I still would put that in there after too. I would put that there. Come here, Mr. Wrench. Going to carefully. So understand. Also, I gotta blow out the frame a little bit, but carefully is an understatement. Undo these bolts here just a little bit. Well, three of them. It smells old, so it's pretty old. Oh, look, I forgot this one. And of course, you always forget one when you're doing. Jesus. Oop, come on now. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. Just go loose, please. There you go. I don't want to deal with this too much longer. Oh, she's starting to come out a little bit more. Ooh, look at her go. Look at the shine on that. So, look at her go. Smells like... Let me think. Smells like opening an old school ship when they still... Chips. When they still had... They used, like, real oil. Like, you know... Pretty good oil. That's what it kind of reminds me of. So, look at it go. Also, the fuel filter's right there, so that wouldn't be too bad. Thought it was gonna be worse. So, it's only like 2 quarts in here, so that wasn't too terrible. So. Let me see if I can undo some of these bolts a little more. Well, I can just take this one right out. So, set that one right there. There we go. There's more of a stream. Look at her go. And I think they resealed it with RTV, the orange stuff, so I don't think it's that good of an RTV to do that with. Oh, that's way the fuck up there. Because you kind of want to go in the pattern of, it's loose enough. You want to go on the pattern of keeping the top one open or on, so you don't get in the habit of dumping a shit ton of fluid on you. I don't want to do it that way. As you can tell, I've probably done it once or twice. I learned my lesson. The hard trick is gonna get this fucking differential cover out of here, because I plan on grabbing a wire wheel, scuffing it up pretty good, painting her black, so doing the old rebuild kit on it, the whole rear end, you know, getting her nice and pretty. Alrighty, I'm gonna shut the camera off and get back to her after shutting this off. There you go. Alrighty, there you go. Drop the pan on her. She ain't too bad. There's a little bit of metal flake in the pan, or not like big chunks. It's more like, you know, normal wear on the rear end. But yeah, she looks pretty decent in there. I couldn't really check. Ain't that close up with it, but there you go. That's pretty good over there. That looks like or a posi or non-posi or whatever the fuck they go by. Looks like she has one of them 2 tire burner rear ends in there, so that's pretty good. So yeah, we'll give her a clean up, paint the pan on her, and see what happens. So fun stuff. Alright, here we are. So it has a little bit of flake on there, but nothing crazy. Looks like normal wear. So I don't know if this is what brand this is, but for a gasket, but she held on there for a while. I don't think it's a new old stock or a very old one, because it didn't seem like it leaked, but you can definitely see the line of where it was and where it wasn't. It was right there. So, well, here you go. Better to, this is the bottom. This is the bottom. So, yeah. So it gives you a better representation of what it is, or it was. So, yeah. So this isn't too bad. We'll see what I find in here. Doesn't look like too much stuff. I flicked my finger on it a little bit, so yeah, there we are. Alrighty, I'm working on this pan here. This shit is really on there. What's it? I got this much off. That was easy to take that off, but this shit's coming off fucking terribly. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting trying to get this gasket material off of here. Who knows? So. Alrighty, now we're in my shed. Here's that thing on my profile picture. Currently working on that. Well, was working on this currently, but haven't got around to it in a long time. There's a second gen box for that second gen over there. Oop. So, yeah, this is my 93. But here's my shed, as they call it. Yeah. So right now we cleared off the whole back of it. Sprayed it with some rust treatment, and we're just letting it sit for a little bit and cool, or not cool, but what do you call it? Go through the motions of the oceans for this rust treatment stuff. Takes a little bit. We got a fan blowing over there, so yeah. I'll step back for my wall. I got first gen parts everywhere. First gen parts. More first gen parts. So yeah, there's my wall. O'Reilly's, my two front fenders from this truck, and some other bits and bobs. There's the front grille from this truck originally, but it hit something, so got a 73, 90, or 80s, and 90s first gen grills. That's a 10 grill, I know that. We got square body hubcaps, we got Mopar shit here. A whole fucking wall just of second gen and first gen parts for both of these trucks. So this is this stretch I will never recommend. That is a like 2-inch stretch, 1 inch on both sides. I'm running an 8-inch tire on 10-inch wide rims. Do not recommend that. So yeah, here's the first gen. Well, the boxes for some other shit. We'll go through this all. Here's the first gen. I got the side exhaust there. Yeah, this is like basically my pride and joy. I like the topper. People hate it, but I love them. So I don't build cars for other people. I build cars for myself. So there it is. There's that. So we're just waiting for that rust treatment to do its thing, and then I'm gonna spray paint it with some rust barrier or some shit. I don't know. I'll figure that out when we get there. Alrighty, I'm back. It's now nighttime. Okay, there's 5% on that window. There's none on that one. I'm back, and I had to go get some paint markers. Joe R.R. Jr. was here. Gotta put that shit on there. Yeah, I had to hang out with the fam bam, so went out, hanged out with them, so that was kind of fun. Just kind of sat around, but yeah, that magnet was RTV'd on, so I don't know what the fuck was going on there. It should stay there. It's a magnet, and if it doesn't, well, we'll find how fast this thing locks up. So I thought this was kind of funny. I was gonna hold on, let me set this down so I can explain better. I was going to if you're reading this, the bitch got out, in the aspect of the suspension would be higher, so because somebody got out of the car. But yeah, this might be my signature on my diff covers now. That's hilarious. Yeah, I kind of fucked up with the pay marker right there. So it is what it is. Whoops. And there we go. That's kind of interesting. So fun stuff. Alrighty. So we got it all tightened up. We went with a crisscross pattern from there to there to there. So we went with the crisscross pattern. As you can tell, I did pretty good because our TV is popping out there. I mean, I didn't clean the surface the greatest, but it'll be fine. So yeah, I put RTV between this and the mating surface here, and between the layering of the gaskets, as you can tell there, RTV and RTV behind it. So yeah, there's that. There's my little was here. So it wasn't too hard to get up in here, but it was kind of a pain with the RTV and everything. So we'll see. Oh, it's interesting. So I'm gonna also fill her up off camera because, well, I might show you my pump system, but I'm gonna fill her up off camera, so I'll be back. Alrighty, here's our gear oil that we're gonna use because we got a IROCZ. I think that there's a double fucking spinner in the back, you know, where it spins both tires. So we're gonna be using 8090 gear oil, high performance, limited slip. And here's our tried and true method of pumping the gear oil in rear ends. We got a bottle of 1040 high mileage. That's empty. That's been empty for a year now. And we got this lower end unit pump here that I've been using for years. And that works perfect. You just squeeze these in there. And sadly, it only holds 1 quart. But it's fine. That top won't fit on there because this is meant for gallon jugs, and this has a gallon mouth, but it's a quart bottle, so it makes it a little easier to use. So let's see what happens, you know what I'm saying? Alright, that's the rear end of the IROCZ done. Wanted to get the transmission done. We were hanging out with the fan bam a little bit, and I didn't really care to mush, you know, on this shit. So here's the rear end fluid. It doesn't look too terrible. Could be worse. Could be like have metal flakes in it and shit. So yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if there's a drain plug on these rear ends. I didn't see one, so we just took the diff cover off, looked inside of it, cleaned the bottom to see what really was going on in it. So yeah, that's that. So if you want to see more, like and subscribe. That'd be nice. I know the last video, it's been 2 days, but it's been iffy because I can't have music on. That's great. But yeah, fun stuff. That's the rear end. So next time we're probably going to do the transmission or the brake fluid. I don't know which one I want to do. But I gotta keep an eye on that rear end for a little bit. So just sitting here, you never know, it might leak, and I gotta check it because I don't know if I filled it up right. Because it says it takes about 2 quarts online, but it only took 1.5. So I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there. So and if you might want to ask yourself, what do you do with the pump after you're done? It just sits in a garbage can after this. It'll watch all that stuff drain out. Still has a 1/2 quart in there, so, or 3/4 of a quart. So, but yeah, if you like this, like and subscribe. That's much appreciated. If you want to, it doesn't really like up to it. So I don't know, fun stuff around here. So catch you on the next one. So.